Who needs their darting fix this weekend? Well, of course you do. And look, we've got a cracking event here. It is a World Series of Darts event in the Netherlands. It is the Dutch Masters. It looks an absolute cracker of a lineup. We've got the 8 players in the Premier League playing against the very best of Belgium and the Netherlands in Den Bosch. It should be brilliant. And here's some of my predictions for the games that are coming up on Friday evening. As you can see behind me, here is the draw for the Dutch Darts Masters. The last 16 games are all first to 6. They are all played on Friday, and then of course you've got the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the final that will all be taking place on Saturday. But let's focus on the Friday games. We've got Stephen Bunting versus Gian Van Veen. A real tough one to call. Van Veen, such an upcoming player, but I've got to fancy Stephen Bunting for this one. I think he wins this one by 6 legs to 4. Then we've got Chris Dobey versus Raymond van Barneveld. Barney's going to be a big crowd favourite in his home country, but I've got to fancy Chris Dobey to win this one. And I think he wins as well by 6 legs to 4. Then we've got Luke Littler versus Dimitri Van den Berg. This is actually the last game on the Friday evening, and I've got to fancy Luke Littler to win. I think Dimitri might relax being the underdog potentially, but I think Littler will get the job done, and I think he wins by 6 legs to 3. Then we've got an all-Dutch affair between Michael van Gerwen and Dirk van Dijvenbode. And I quite like the way MVG's game's going at the moment. I think he wins this one, and I think he wins by 6 legs to 2. Then we got Gerwin Bryce versus Danny Noppert, and I actually fancy Gerwin in this one. He's been playing some really good stuff, brilliant displays in the Bahrain Masters as well, and I think he wins against Danny Noppert by 6 legs to 3. Then we've got Nathan Aspinall versus Kevin Dotes, and I think this is where we might see a little bit of an upset. I fancy Dotes to win this one. I was impressed with him in the World Championships, and I think he beats Aspinall by 6 legs to 4. Then it's Luke Humphries versus the dangerous Jermaine Wattimena, but I don't know if it'll be dangerous enough for Luke. I think Luke might get the job done, but it'll be a close one. I fancy 6-5. I think it could be a real tight one. And then the first actual game of the session, believe it or not, is right at the bottom of the draw, is Rob Cross versus Richard Vinstra. Rob Cross has not got off to a good start, has he? He had a poor World Championships, got knocked out in the first round of the Bahrain Masters. Is he vulnerable in this competition? Possibly. I think Vinstra might get the job done here. I think 6 legs to 4 on that one. So I'm not seeing too many Dutch winners. But I tell you what, Michael van Gerwen is defending champion, and he might be the one to beat this weekend.